It's Ahavah Kills. Let me know what y'all think about this interview. Like, share, and subscribe. Only know Mercury Extremely currently on the Ahavah Kills, and I'm with
Naami.
Alrighty. Tell us about yourself. What you do for a living. Well, first,
Shit.
how old are you?
I'm 23. I'm turning 24 in August 8th, 8/8. You know, little son, my birthday.
Type shit.
8/8. My brother was born 3/3. Little fun fact. So March 3rd. I make music for a living. I've done a few things. I've done some customer service work, shit like that. But for the most part, on my free time, I just think about a lot of things and spend time with my family and my friends, and that's really like the best time that I could have.
Nice.
You know,
Where you from?
I'm from Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah, shout out.
Shit,
Represent.
shout out. I'm still over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Coming back and forth and doing my thing. I came here when I was about 9 years old, and I started learning English. I think it took about 6 months till I was starting to speak
that's
it.
quick.
Yeah. And then like in about a year, I got fluent with it, and I got really like involved with the media, music, especially. Like I started listening to a lot of rap music. Started thinking with like Eminem because like, he was really known in Mexico like big time. So I got into that because I had heard his music, but I didn't know what the fuck he was saying.
Yeah.
So once I learned, I listened to him, and I thought that was the hardest shit because he didn't give a fuck. He just said a bunch of fuck shit, and then I got into like Tyler the Creator. He could rap, yeah, hello, undeniably. Then Tyler the Creator, and I kind of just went and listened to a bunch of music, Denzel Curry. Then I eventually got into Kendrick. I eventually got into like a bunch of more like conscious shit, but like it really just started with like just rage, like rap, just saying crazy shit. And I think like that was like what I first listened to. Other than that, it was just Mexican music. Like shit, I couldn't even tell somebody that like has never heard Mexican music before. Like just a lot of that because that's what my dad heard, and that's what he would play when we were driving around and type shit. Like that's what it was like when I was in Mexico. And then when I got here, it was mad different. Like all the kids were already like talking about just shit that they would get on like on the regular, and I just didn't have that. I really care for it until like I was like older. I understood it, but I didn't like want stuff. I just kind of was hating on them fools. Like they would have like some fresh shit, and I'd just be like, look at this motherfucker, shit, like whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was like at first when I got here.
Okay, what was life like growing up?
Very different than when I got here, cause like until I was like 9, it was like just me, my parents, my grandparents. My mom would work all day and she would come back at night. She worked at a bank. My dad, he was a lawyer. So there was a period in between when I was really little, I think, when my dad was just getting into law, like barely finishing school type.
Oh, he went to law school for
in Mexico, like
attorney?
Yeah, he was an attorney. Yep.
Oh, nice.
I mean, he was a defense lawyer for a long time for a lot of people. He got to see a lot of things. But for the most part, we were at my grandparents. So grandparents on my dad's side. He would see my grandparents on my mom's side, and they're like, honestly, I think it's like a classic thing where like on my mom's side, they're actually like, they're all girls actually. Like it's my grandma, and now it's all aunts. And on my dad's side is my grandpa, my grandma, and then I have 2 uncles and an aunt, and like I spent a lot of time with my cousins, and they were old boys. A couple girls came, but until I was like already like 19, I think. So it was really different because their house looked like, I'm back then. You would have looked at that, and you probably would have been like, "Damn, like this is like lucky like on some slum shit." like they had like when they first got here, there was no pavement. I got to see there was like cracked pavement on the floor, and that's kind of like where it was at. The bed was there. The walls inside the house, they didn't even reach the roof. And for us, that was all fun shit because you could climb the top of the fucking like wall and shit, and just
good memories.
Jumped into the bed, yeah, like shit like that. We would get in trouble for all of that, but it's like, we were having fun. And my cousins that were younger than me, they were like 3 years younger than me. Well, the oldest one was a couple years younger than me, and then the one that was younger than that, I think he was about 4 years or 5 years younger than me. They were in the street, like they were literally going out and then coming back. Nobody looking for them type shit. Like they just come back on their own, and then the other way around, we would not go out at all. My parents did not let us do any of that.
Okay.
We were getting like big trouble. My dad freaked out on me, like beat my ass type shit.
Yeah.
So I was a real good kid for good reason. Like when I was young, and then when I got here, crazy shit. Like I just like started just kind of seeing how kids behave, and I was just having fun.
Is this a lot different than
Yeah,
what you were used to?
because my parents kind of had an eye on us the whole time.
Yeah.
And then here it was more like there was more social media. Like the kids were on social media heavy.
Facts.
And that was like the biggest thing I think that happened was that there was like that itch to get on Facebook.
Yeah.
And like Messenger and like just do all that. That was like the biggest thing, because after that, just a couple years or 3 years after coming here, there was this girl. She had her own situation, also in TJ, crossing to go to school. I was living here when I was going to school here. She was like crossing every single day. And you know, I'm a kid. I'm naive. I'm just looking at this girl. I just think she's hella smart, and she's really smart because she's like on survival mode. Because her dad was like, you know, not in a good state of mind at all. Don't drugs.
Yeah.
Mom had her head straight, but you know, it's not enough when you know she like. I mean, who knows what she went through that I might have not known. You know what I mean? Especially with a dad like that. Like even though she was telling me a lot of things, there was a lot of things I probably don't know that happened to her. But she was like self-harming. So that was like my intro into all of that. Like that's how I found out like there's things that happen that take people to really like want to feel that type of or have that type of experience. And that was pain. Like and I saw that and I wanted to help her. And it became like a romantic thing. You know, we were like 12. And I lost my whole innocence from that point on all the way to like my freshman year. It got so bad I was like bitching freshman year with her. My parents had to switch schools for me because like I was missing too much class. Like I was gonna have to like have a cop go to my door and pick me up and take me to school. It got that bad because I was just skipping. But I mean, like you're 12 and she's like, you know, this pretty girl who's really smart and you really like her, like she's giving it up. You're like 12. It's like the best thing ever. But then you realize like, oh, I just fucked up a whole year of school. And then I you know, there's college right after. And like when I graduated, I was chasing tail. Fucking, I moved to Anaheim to, you know, go with this girl that I barely knew. I met her on fucking Bumble. I knew her for like a month. Type shit. And I went, dipped out, and stayed with her. And honestly, probably get a really bad experience because like I was in a good boyfriend. You know, you just got out of high school. You're not like thinking on some like man shit. You're thinking on some like I want to be comfortable, want to have fun. And she was on school. You know, in school, she wanted to be a psychologist. I didn't agree with a lot of the things that she thought, and that would drive her crazy. She had no way of actually like verbalizing what she was right. She would just immediately like explode and be really angry that I didn't share her thoughts. And you know, but she probably blames me for a lot of the bad stuff that happened. I think that's interchangeable. I think it takes two to tango.
Right,
you know
especially at that age, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I was 18, like had just turned 19.
Yeah.
I just turned 19, and then we ended up breaking up. I came back, so that was tough. That was like I was stuck on that like for a couple years at least. It was like,
oh really?
Yeah, because I met girls and I was just having fun and I didn't really get it. I was doing music. And when I came back, I met people that did music. So I thought that was just going to be it. I was just going to do music and it's going to be like just a ride from there. But shit happens, unexpected shit.
How did y'all guys like break apart?
You know, it's hard for me to like give like a straight answer on that because I feel like it broke off on her end because I still wanted to be with her. I thought she was beautiful. She is a beautiful person. I think that now she doesn't even go by like her same name and shit like that. I think she had her own identity that she had to explore, and I think it was more on her end. You know what I mean? And I think that it caused a lot of issues, like to not have those conversations. Maybe she just didn't know how to have them, but it ended up being really ugly. Like, yeah, it ended up just being really ugly. Like, it wasn't gonna work out, and I was just kind of like hoping that it would. So I overstayed my welcome, essentially, is the
Right,
way that I would
understandable.
describe it.
It happens.
Yeah,
Love does that, man.
But yeah, I mean, shit. I thought that was love. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like it was like a childish like illusion of like, it has to be with her because I met her at this particular time and she was this for me at this point. But then you get to know people more and people get to know themselves more, and so they change and they change how they treat you. At some point, I was treating her better than she was treating herself, and then I started treating her like she was treating herself. If that makes
Right,
sense.
understandable.
I changed for the worse. Like, she did take away a lot of like, and I gained mad weight. That was the first time I gained like a bunch of weight. Like right now I'm heavy, but holy fuck, I was heavy back then. Like I was even like, so it was a big like learning process of like learning what it looks like when someone really loves you.
Yeah.
And what it looks like when you're holding on too much onto something and it's not working.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it
I
sucks.
know that.
It's a hard thing to go through.
It's getting emotional, y'all, because I definitely I can relate to that.
And it's hard to go through it by yourself and between the two people because it's like sometimes people don't even know, and like I know I didn't fucking know what the point of anything was. It's like, oh, I'm having so much fun, and all of a sudden it feels this bad. It's like when you're giving someone access to you, as much as they can make you feel like you are so loved and so desired, they can make you feel the exact opposite of that, the other extreme.
Well said, yeah.
And so you gotta be with someone that understands that and respects that and wants you to always remember who you are, rather than what maybe the world has made you think you are. And that's hard to find because people don't do that for themselves.
Yeah.
You gotta have some space for yourself if you're gonna be in a relationship, because otherwise the other person's gonna end up parenting in a way. And that's kind of like, even in my current relationship, and I want to explore that in music. It's hard to do it, and it's hard to also communicate with your partner like, I gotta make music about this because it's something that's in my mind, and you might not like how it sounds or how it makes you feel, but it doesn't mean it has to be like that. And unfortunately, like, it takes a lot of fortitude to like hear something and not let it make you think that it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult, especially when you love somebody and you hear something you don't like from them. It's like, damn, that hurts.
Do you think music is therapy for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, music is like my break from this world. Like, that's the way I would put it. Because I know it makes sense to me, but it makes sense to me in so many different ways as I'm making it. I don't write in a very linear fashion. I try to, but a lot of the time it's like I'm trying to get out of my mind as much of these ideas as possible. I'm not trying to be perfect with it. I'm just trying to get it out so you understand everything that's coming into play in my mind at a particular moment. It's not A to B story, because I don't think life is like that. Like, you could try to break life like that down, but at the end of the day, one day you have an influence that tomorrow is going to go away because you prefer something else the next day.
Every breath you take is a possibility that it's just
like
gone.
It's like that, and it's like the only way you could even like harness all of that energy that's just kind of floating around and coming in and out of your mind is that you have a motive. So you got to have that motive, because that's what brings you back to the center, that brings you back to where you actually want to be, instead of there's something in my head, in the back of my head, that I'm ignoring, so I'm doing certain things to ignore that thing, and that becomes me rather than what I actually want to be doing. That's what happens to most people.
Yes.
It happens to me, but I'm aware of it, so I work around it a little different sometimes. And sometimes I don't, and then sometimes I'm like, fuck, I fucked up that whole day.
Yeah.
It's like, how could you do it different? Who do you have to talk to like maybe change something that you might have done in the past? Sometimes you can't change what you did in the past, but you can make sure that certain things are clear so that you're not moving with like a guilty conscience or
for the future.
Like, exactly, in the future, because like it's gonna affect what you do. So you gotta, get right and be honest with yourself.
Well said. Well said.
I think that's the biggest. People live in deception. People live
Ooh,
afraid
go
of
deeper into
saying
that. People live in deception.
in
What
deception
does
for
that
sure.
mean?
Because they want to believe something about themselves.
Hmm.
And it's like, who gives a fuck? Who told you have to believe anything about yourself?
Yeah.
Just go do what you really want to do. Like, what you really want to do. Don't do it. Like, think about why you're doing whatever you're doing. And then you're going to find out if you really want to do it or if someone made you think that you should want to do it. Because there's a difference. And I think ultimately, like, if I go even deeper to that, there's like, and this is where shit could get a little trippy. Like,
Yeah.
There's us as people. We create our personalities of the things that we have enjoyed, but we also get what we enjoy from seeing other people enjoy certain things.
So we enjoy seeing people happy.
Mm-hmm. You, as a kid, you're watching someone have a shit ton of fun.
Yeah.
Naturally, you think it should be fun if you do it.
You
know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I get
Or
it.
someone's doing it, and even if it doesn't look fun, if they're doing it enough and it calls your attention, you're gonna repeat it because deep in yourself, you want to understand whatever.
So Naami, why do you think people are being deceived, and how are they being deceived?
Because that's what normal looks like to them. Like I've always found it funny how people talk about everybody should just live like, everybody just wants a normal life. Okay, but what the fuck does a normal life look like? What does show me a normal person? You mean like a person who isn't like doing things that make you uncomfortable? Okay, I can respect that. But there's people who get uncomfortable with anything that challenges their way of thinking. And very few people that actually feel that way will go past the discomfort to try to understand if whatever they actually believe in is worth feeling uncomfortable whenever someone's talking. Like, there's just so much about the way people get so aggressive instead of actually trying to have a conversation about things.
Exactly.
I think it says more about what they're avoiding than anything that they could say when they're screaming at you, whether it's about politics, whether it's about sexual preference, whether it be about race,
politics, spirituality,
everything. Literally, yeah, exactly. When it comes to like anything that challenges their identity, and I think at the end of the day, you can always narrow things down to: does this really help you? Like, does this really actually give you a benefit, or are you just doing it out of full-on vanity? Because you want to be perceived a certain way. You want to perceive yourself a certain way.
Well,
so
what does vanity mean, just for the people?
Vanity, I would say vanity is anything that you do for the sake of being viewed in a better light, rather than it actually being like a transcendental benefit. Like a transcendental benefit to me is like, let's say I work on myself and I stop cutting sugar off, and I start working on not cussing because I want to explain my ideas further. That's transcendental because you're taking care of yourself for one, and if you're taking care of yourself, you're probably going to be there longer for the people that love you. And if you're trying to communicate better and you're trying to cuss less, you're actually bringing more focus to the things that you're talking about, rather than like just finishing the sentence type shit. These are things that you are using more of that space, more of that time with your true intentions. And a lot of the times the intentions are actually coming from what people think will change the perspective of them in the eyes of other people. And you can never control that. What you can control is your actual intentions. If you're worried about that, your intentions are never yours. They're just it's just full on vanity. Like, you really just want to be liked. And it's like, okay, you can be liked by just being a good person. And there's always going to be someone who's going to feel uncomfortable by you being yourself, because maybe there's something in you that they're missing, but they can't admit to themselves that they're missing.
Right.
And some people don't know how to even embody that. They will try to appear like you, but they're actually not as caring, actually don't think of other people when they're out by themselves. And these are things like you gotta work on. I was just telling you all Karen because that shit died. Like, you guys know my story. That was a crazy
bro.
shit.
He was like in the middle. We had like 15 minutes in, and the camera just stopped. We're talking about deception, and I'm telling you, like when you talk about deep things like that, something in the atmosphere, because we got good and evil, right?
Yeah.
It tries to stop that good information coming in to actually help the people, feed the people.
Yeah.
Because you're helping me by bringing up, like, I've been trying to stop cussing. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. I catch myself and I'm like, on the inside, I'm like, okay, let me stop.
It helps
It
with
don't feel
writing.
right.
Like I've noticed, like I stopped cussing even in my writing because I'm like trying to narrow down exactly what I'm saying. I hate. I was about to cuss again. Like I hate just not utilizing, because I like full circle things. So I'm like, if I can make just things connect all the way through, it helps get an idea out. It also gives you more ideas because you're seeing how things actually just connect in your day to day, and everything does connect. Like when if we go back to deception goes back all the way. Like you're talking about, you have the Bible, and I know a lot of people don't like the Bible, but the Bible does have stories that represent things in real life. Like for example, if you go back in time, there has to be a first time that a brother killed a brother, and that was like Cain and Abel.
There you go.
Shit, that's the first instance of it, and it keeps repeating. Obviously, it still stems from that one precedent, and it still lives on. That feeling, that sensation of like anger overriding anything good that you could think of, still lives through.
Anger.
And also what lives through is the actual desire for good and the well-being of other people. And that's the battle that people try to ignore. And they're just saying, I'm just living my life. I just want to not worry. And it's like, okay, if you're not worrying because a lot of other people are having to take roles that you would otherwise have to take and suffer through, just so you don't worry, just so that you don't worry and that you're a little more comfortable, it's really worth it. And unfortunately, that's the reality in this country, where people are okay compared to the rest of the world. Because in other parts of the world, people are getting bombed, raped, sold from a young age. They're just abused. They don't even know how to read. They can't even like read about their history. And maybe there's no one in the world that cares about them in that. And I understand how you see all of those things, and some people go like, "Oh yeah, God doesn't exist because how would He allow for that?" God gave us free will, and unfortunately, people don't understand that symbolism. Symbolism isn't just a thing that we made up. People think that we just give meaning to things. Things have meaning. And that is our higher. Uh, the space where we can really
consciousness.
Yes, that's what consciousness, like that, like a higher consciousness. I think everything is consciousness. I think everything's conscious to different degrees. Like a rock, I think is conscious. It's just not conscious to the degree you and I are. It can't have a conversation. It doesn't have a sense of individuality. It doesn't sense in the way that you sense, but it is a part of everything else. And if it's not here, like if everything that's in the earth is not here, you're not here. That has a meaning. And what things can transform to also has a significance, a real material significance. Just depends on like what you need to know. And it's like, as a human being, like you can have all these many perspectives. You can also polarize yourself and say none of this means anything. We're just fucking here. But what does that do for you? And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that doesn't do anything for them, but it's easier than actually thinking of the repercussions of their actions and what it has, what them not caring or what them not assigning significance to the world has done to us as people. And that is the problem, because you've got all these people in here that want to believe in God, that don't want to believe in God, and the actual thing that is important about all of that is, what's the smartest thing? I think the smartest thing is to care about each other, because we're all here together. You see somebody suffering, you just find a way to help that people stop suffering. And we could do that at a mass scale. We decide instead to be comfortable consuming and give our money away, our resources away, to people who will use that resource to keep you in that same cycle, and use people abroad to do everything that you wouldn't do for a cent or 10 cents.
Damn.
And it's every single day it's happening, and people are just walking around. I've seen on some random shit, someone just grabbing a pizza and putting it on the door of the car, and seeing if the door would close automatically because it's like one of those cars that closes the door all the way or whatever on its own. And they're just putting this pizza like, it's some basic shit that in my house, it's like, dang, you finish your food. There's some kid out there that wants to eat and they can't, and you better finish your whole food.
Yeah.
Like in my house, that was a thing. And these motherfuckers playing with a whole pizza on the door on their car for views on TikTok. And they probably made hella cash off that too.
Yeah.
And you're not donating none of that to, they don't care. So my thing is all of those people. My thing is people like you and me who care and who can sit down and talk about these things.
Yeah.
All the people that are middle class, high middle class, or just even just middle class, like real middle class to where they got.
What do you think about the San Diego, California rap scene and just what they are pushing onto the people, onto the children, you know, everywhere?
You know, I'm not going to speak for all of the rappers. I know there's some rappers out there that are not known, people that are rapping out here that want to talk about shit that's real and kind of want to put on. But, you know, I never had no involvement with, like, no big artists out here. I know the ones that are popping, like, not personally, like, I know of them type shit. And I know people that have been close or in circles like that. It's not for me. You know, I'm not really a heavy drug user like that. Like, I'm on, like, you know, I smoke weed. And, like, I think about stopping this shit like that. I know they be popping perks out here. They been doing their thing, you know, get it how you live. But, you know, I think, unfortunately, there are some things that just come from, like we was talking earlier, like about the past. Like it all comes from everything that people have been doing for a little minute now.
Right.
And if it's gonna keep you relevant, it's gonna keep you relevant. I've heard from people down here, the only way you can get put on in the music down here is through the gangs. I heard that said just like that from someone down here.
Wait, say that again?
The only way you can get put on in music here in San Diego is through gangs. Like a gang got
that part in San Diego, California. I'm telling y'all, that is the only way unless you push past. And we really never had nobody push past. What do you think about that? What do you think about what is the difference between pimp rap in California versus Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh shit! I mean, I don't think there's much of a difference at the end of the day. I think, you know, people talk about survival. Some things are easier than other things. You know what I mean? I think when things come easy, you know, that's cool for however long that lasts you. But when you live that lifestyle, and this is just me speaking from everything that I've seen, people that I've seen affected. For the most part, I know women that have been affected by that. There's no upside long term because everything that you have. Hey, I'm on my mind, too hot like a motherfucker. I'm trying to catch it up, but damn, it's too hard to focus. Sometimes it's really all about yourself. Every time the world try to tell you, go against. Sometimes you gotta swim against the motherfucking flow. Every single time you're something that you don't know. And if it's really true, then it will prevail. And if it's not, shit, you might go to hell. And it's really something that you live every day. Can't ignore it. A motherfucker will feel it in their head. Even if they ignore it, they're gonna die, be consumed by the flame. That's what I'm trying to tell the population. They listen themselves, this nation becoming just a breeding ground for